Demo video 6. We're going to show how, in this video, how we're going to create unification between one section and another section. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my verse now. I've completed that. Let's have a listen to it. All right, it's pretty out there. So it's got, this is to solo that instrument. It's got this sort of little guitar thing happening. It's also got this lead. This is my lead instrument. Then it's got one type of bass. And at the end, it's got this other cool bass. Whoa. Okay. So, have I got all of my instruments? I've got a melody. My melody instrument is this Afterburner synth lead. My harmony instrument is this House Fever Hot Guitar 01. My drum kit was the first instrument we picked up here, the Knuckle Down Beat. My bass, I've actually included two basses, a Cuban timber bass, which cuts off when the other bass comes in. This one down here over the top, wobble bass. With the bass loops, notice that I've written in here you should only use one at a time. In my section I have actually used two basses, but they're not being played at the same time. One of them stops playing here where the other one takes over here, and then that's perfectly okay. Now before I show you how I add some other things to this chorus section down here, I'm just going to show you another thing that I've also done. I've also added a thing called automation. So I'll just show you my automation. What I've done is, in my guitar, just solo that. In my guitar, I've switched on the show and hide automation, and then I've actually turned on automation, enable automation. You can turn that on and off. When you switch it on, you can pull down on this this pull down menu. You've got a whole heap of things that you can automate. Actually, sorry, it depends on the kind of instrument you're using. Like this one, you've got lots of other things that you can automate. This one, I've only got sort of basically volume and panning. Volume is you know, changing the volume. Panning is whether the sound comes out of the left or the right speaker, or the left or the right headphone. So here's my volume automation. Have a listen to what it does. I'm going to actually pull this back just a little bit, like this. It starts to get quieter and quieter. Okay. Well, it's a really clever little little thing that you can use to fade in and fade out. When you first set it up, these dots don't exist, right? It looks something like this, just a plain yellow line. To do it, all you need to do is just click on it to create the dots. And then those dots, you can just click on them and then drag them up and down all over the place, wherever you want to put them. I'm sort of trying to create a big fade out at the end of this loop, so I'm doing it like that. And it's probably maybe from about halfway through that loop down to the end. I'll just have it fading out. I've done the same thing with this wobble bass thing, except actually I want it to start right at the start of the wobble bass, right? So just have a listen to my wobble bass. So when it comes in, it's going to start with like very softly, but then increase suddenly. Right? Okay. Now, another thing I'm going to do as well is on my on this one, I'm also going to try doing a pan automation. So my pan automation, now it's a green line, I can start with it panning from one side. Oops. Add another dot. Maybe pan up here. Back down. So basically each bar, it's panning from one side of your ear to the other side. To be honest, this is going to be very hard for you to hear the difference, but you're just going to have to trust me. Oops. Okay, let's have a listen to this one. It's crossing to the left speaker, back to the right, back to the left, and then back to the right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it still does the fade out at the end. So that's great. That's exactly what Okay, good. So that's a little bit on automation and finishing up my section. I might make a new video for the next thing, for the creating unification with this one.